Buzz.
All right, here we go. So thank you for showing up today. This is my Freedom to Flourish in Real Estate Abundance Challenge. And I call it that because it's a challenge. It's a challenge that carries on after today if you want it to, or you could just go through today and apply what you need to apply in your own business. But I wanted to offer support as well. So every single week, maybe not over the holidays. We may have to change that around a little bit in December, but every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, I just changed it as well. I do a group call and it is on one of the pillars. So we're going to have more about that a little bit later after I get started. But this is not just a workshop that I want you guys to come to and leave and not take away anything from it. I want you to hopefully apply what you feel is missing from your own business and then join us in those weeks so that we can work on those areas in your business. So that being said, I'm going to share my screen and then I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's see. If anyone comes in and anyone sees someone trying to get in, because sometimes it'll say someone is trying to get in, please let me know. But I think I could still see it. So, okay, so this is a little bit different as well. Every month this year, I've done a real estate abundance plan challenge. However, I've really kind of experimented with different things. I'm not sure moving forward if I can see when people come. I'm not sure moving forward if I'm going to do the live one or if I'm going to do a recording and then just lead people into the weekly coaching call. So we'll see. But no matter what, I've done this every month this year, almost every month, and it doesn't say 2024. This one I'm changing up a little bit because we're going to be everybody's in planning mode for 2024. We're not even to December yet, but we're all in the same place thinking, okay, well, we got to start planning, or what are we going to do? Like, who has a plan, like a wrote out business plan for 2024 and knows exactly what they're going to do? Like, probably no one. Like, it's a hard thing to do because we want to do what works, but we also don't know what works, especially in the current market. For a lot of us, we're like, oh, I'm just hoping to survive right now, right? So let's talk about that a little bit more. So just to give you guys an idea of who I am and why you're here, why I created this. I've been a real estate agent for 21 years. I am what you call a career realtor. Like, I made it a career. I'm not a part-time agent. I have done an average of 40 to 60 deals a year over my entire career. I was first licensed in California in 2002 or 2002. And it changed my life. It literally changed my life. And I wrote this book, co-authored this book last year called Step Into Your Brave. And it talks a lot about my childhood and how I come from a childhood of a lot of trauma, stress, drama, moving. I think I went to like 18 different schools over my childhood career. And this is the story for a lot of us. Like, I'm not saying I'm anything special. Like, my hardship stories are no different than all of yours. But what I am saying is there are things from those stories that have carried over into my adult life, and I still have to deal with them today. I have to figure out what they are. I have to release them. I have to leave them in the past, and I have to be able to move on. And one of the things throughout my real estate career that I have learned is that a lot of my success, I haven't even given myself credit for, because I was always thinking I had to be better. I had to do better. I had to be better. I haven't ever been able to just chill and say, oh my God, like, I'm really happy where I am. And you'll all probably do the same. But sometimes we need to just give ourselves a break and stop and say, you know what? Dang, I think I got this. Like, and I'm doing the right thing. I'm in the right place. So that is, my story is all about how I overcome and dealt with a lot of that trauma and stuff. And we're going to go more into that. But I'm also a mom of 4 sons and now 7 grandsons and no daughters and a couple daughter-in-laws. Yes, but I'll just say there's a reason God didn't give me any girls. Love those boys. I love being a boy mom. And like I said before, I am a survivor of childhood trauma. I didn't give up ever. I am not a person who gives up. I don't care how far over that ledge I am. I'm going to keep going and persevere until I either get it figured out or finally decide that might not be the right path and go do something else. But I am a person who is always about self-improvement. And I just strive for that. And I'm so happy that I did, because my goal is, for the most part, wake up every day and be happy. That's a struggle sometimes, but that's what I do. But my point to all of this, you guys, is if I could do this, anyone can do this. And I want to share with you, and this is me giving back an hour a week, really trying to help everybody, because we're all better off as a group, as a tribe, as feeling like you just have somebody else there to run these things by. And I've been doing those Tuesday calls for a long time, and they're great. I have a lot of people who really have gotten a lot out of them. So I hope that that's you over the next year. So the first part of my whole program, I'm going to go over the framework. I'm going to give you guys lots of valuable information in this next hour. And I want to say, as you're going through all of it and you hear me talking, feel free to take notes and take notes of what you're missing. First of all, we have to decide where we're going to go in our business. Where do you want to be? It all starts with the end in mind. We can't put it in the GPS map if we don't know where we're going. So the first thing you have to decide is, how many transactions do you want to do in your real estate business next year? What's your goal? And I'm going to cover so much more than your real estate business, because being abundant is a whole body experience. It's not just about the money. And so we're going to get into all of that. But as I go through all of this stuff, you first need to decide where you're missing the boat, what's missing. So the 4 pillars that I'm going to go over, that is literally the framework of everything that I do, and something that you could repeat. Like, I've had people take my monthly challenges over and over, and come to my monthly or weekly calls over and over, because you just keep repeating the same thing. You implement now and you perfect later. So we're going to do that. But there's so many pieces that real estate agents fail to implement. And that is why they don't have the confidence. They don't have the systems. They're missing pieces, but they don't know what pieces they are, because raise your hand, who thinks this is like the most overwhelming job ever? Like, it's so easy to slip into overwhelm and be like, oh my God, I just don't even know what to work on. I think I'm just going to go have a White Russian, glass of wine, whatever. But, it's so much easier to do that. But it's also really easy to get out of overwhelm and back into production. And so that's what I want to, even in today's market, because y'all, there's still houses selling. It's just, the question is, are you selling them? And what have you got to do to be the agent in your area with a little bit more market share than what you have, so that you are one of those agents? Okay. So take notes throughout this presentation on what you're missing. So I need to slow down. I was told the last time, Dawn, did you even take a breath through that? And I thought, next time I do it, I'm going to slow down. I just get so excited. Like, I love that I have this system. I refer to it for myself constantly, and I want to share it with you guys and hope that you get more out of it too. So the 4 pillars are mindset, foundations, your real estate foundations, your real estate automations, and your lead generation funnels. Who can agree with me that no matter what you're working on in your real estate business, you're in one of those areas? Everything that you can think of that is on your daily to-do list, or that should be on your to-do list, is in one of these areas. And I have mindset first, because I used to have it last, and I would be like, go through all this other stuff. And I thought, you know what? These other three, they don't matter if you don't have the right mindset in this business. Mindset is everything. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are correct. So one of my favorite tools is the 12-week year. So I'm asking you guys, what are you planning for 2024? But I want you to think smaller. I don't want you to think about all of 2024. I want you to think about the next 12 weeks. The 12-week year book, I've read it 7 times probably, from front to end, through Audible, over and over. I've journaled almost all of it because that's my process to internalize anything, is getting out my remarkable tablet, and as I'm listening to a book on Audible, taking notes. But I also, I just, hold on, I gotta admit someone and go back. But the 12-week year is literally, I think of it, it's literally right here on the very top, one of my favorite books. It covers everything from your vision, setting goals, all of the different things that we need in real estate are in this book. So that is the number one thing that I highly recommend everybody listen to. But instead of thinking about 2024, I want your 12 weeks to start with Friday. Why give up on December? We could do so much in December and include it with January and February so that by March, all of our systems are set up. All of these things that you're going to write down, they're done. So that in the spring, when the interest rates are supposed to drop and the market is supposed to start picking up a little bit, it's a lot easier for you. You're not looking back and saying, dang, I should have done all that, but you didn't. So I want you to not, I definitely want you to think about 2024. And I know that my good friend Angela is doing a call on Friday talking about planning for the whole year. Oh, they went down. Yay, reading it now. It's such a good and insightful book. Awesome, y'all. Thank you for the feedback. I loved getting the notes. But now I forgot where I was since I pulled up the chat. But anyway, the 12-week year.
You said Angela was giving.
Oh, yes. Yes. In our performance group on Friday, it's a Facebook group, but if you're not in that group, just message me and I'll send you the invite so that you could get on the Zoom. But she's going to talk about and I don't know if she's on this call or not, I don't think so, but she's going to talk about 2023 goals and 2024 goals, but we're going to take a look back and figure out why you didn't do. We're going to get into a lot of mindset stuff. Angela's a great coach. She was my coach for 3 years. Now she's one of my best friends and joined me at Epic. And so we're really trying to put free stuff together to help real estate agents. And that's just what our passion is really helping people be successful. So that's a free call on Friday that we're all in. So anyway, back to the 12-week year. So let's think about the next 12 weeks. What we focus on determines how we feel, and how we feel, our state of mind, powerfully influences our actions and our interactions. And Tony Robbins, my favorite guru. I love him. I love Unleash the Power Within. I've gone to like 3 or 4 of his events. Love him. And I love his mission in life and his story. And I love how he really helps people understand what it means to get into the right state of mind. And you have to think about this. And this is why I put mindset first. And I want to talk about this, your mindset. And I include daily routine a little bit in this. So let's talk on mindset, our energy, our there's just so many things. And I could go on and on about mindset for a whole day and do a whole class on it, but we will be covering it next week on Tuesday also. But let's just, let's talk about some of this stuff. We're all in a different place here, but we all most likely have some kind of trauma in our past. And our brains work in a way where, I've been studying this a lot lately. Joe Dispenza is one of my favorite authors, and I've been reading a lot of his stuff and watching his shows. And it is so true. Our brains are so tricky, but when those things happen to us in our childhood, like they still have an effect on you today. But once you recognize those triggers, that's a powerful word that everybody knows right now. Once you recognize those, you're able to stop that loop that's going on in your head, and you're able to take yourself out of it and get back into a space where you could go and create. And that is so important as real estate agents, that we don't get stuck in those loops. But first, you have to recognize them. And you have to recognize where you are in your journey. Like, do you wake up every day? Do you talk negative to yourself all day? Do you sit there and worry about money all day? What are the stories that you're telling yourself? You can't stay stuck in those same stories and expect different results. Like, that's the definition of insanity. So it's really up to each of you to become the fly on the wall inside your mind. Or sometimes I'll be walking through a room in my house and I'll think, "Ooh, let me be the fly on the wall." And I'll look at myself and what am I doing? What am I thinking? Kind of go outside of your own body and really recognize where you are, what you're doing, and what's different. And, I always ask myself, why in the hell am I doing laundry? I seem to always go to the laundry, and think about that, because I'm supposed to be working, not doing laundry. So what are you telling yourself? And then do the work to heal these things. Like the heal, I'm going to go into a lot of this stuff, different ideas that I believe you can use to heal and get some relief from some of these things. So we can't live in the past and the future at the same time. So we've got to be future focused on our business, on our mindset, on whatever your hopes and your dreams are, not stuck in that past negative loop. So heal the past and move on to the beautiful life that God has waiting for you. That, you have a purpose. We all have a purpose here. And I think it's so important that we remember that, we figure out what that is first, or what you want that to be, but then let's go make our dreams come true. So one of the things, I put this slide on here because this is the number one killer of happiness, and it's comparison. And as real estate agents, it is so easy for us to compare ourselves to other realtors. I bet that if you guys honestly raised your hand, who does not open up their social media every day and find somebody else, a realtor, who's doing something different than what you're doing, and you think to yourself, I need to do more? Like, that happens every single day to me too, but I recognize it now, and I'm able to think, wait, Dawn, you have your own plan that you're going to do. Let's go back over to there and focus on that. Let's admire and appreciate that person instead of trying to make ourselves feel down because we're not doing as good of a job. So that's my first challenge for you, is to stop doing that. And if you can't stop doing it and you recognize yourself doing it regularly, stop following those people. Follow the companies or whatever you pick to put on your business plan. We're going to get to that too, but stop you doing the comparisonitis. Like, remember always, you might be right here on this step, those agents might be up here, but I promise you, at one point they were down here where you are. And so there's enough business in this world for all of us, even in real estate. So let's move on. The second challenge is time blocking from your abundance plan. So once we get into the business part of all of this, I want you to focus on, I have a rhythm and a method to all of this. We're going to kind of go over that at the end, on how you get from the business plan over to the calendar. So we're going to go over that, but super important that you time block in a way that fits your personality. I'm not a time blocker from like 8 to 9. Every day, 8 to 9, I got to do this. Like, I have to time block my things into days. So if I have a project I'm working on, like, that's the only thing I can work on all day on that day. And so you got to figure out what works for you for time blocking. But it is so important to get the things from your vision onto your business plan and into your planner. All right. So these are some of the ideas that have worked for me in order to get my mindset into the right place. Every single day, I start out with what I call me time. It's where I do prayer, I do meditation, I visualize, I think of what my plan is. I do some of all of this different stuff. And I say always have a coach, because you guys, you don't know where you're going if you've never been there. And so I think it is so important, but I also think it's so important to have the right coach. And you can only have the right coach when you figure out, and I'm not a coach, so I'm not going to ask you to hire me. I've just paid thousands of dollars for coaches, and I know the importance. I wouldn't be where I am today without so many of them. Let me look. I want to look at the notes really quick. Doing laundry now, Jennifer. That's funny. I do laundry all the time. If I'm done doing laundry, I just start doing it all over again with all my dogs' blankets and the household stuff. Like, if there's not a load going, I'm not doing something. Anyway, what are your intentions? And another thing, inspiring only videos, the news, like, I think it's important that we all watch and know what's going on nationally, what you can believe anyway. But I think it's also really important that we do that at certain times of the day, and not all day, and not during your work day, like maybe in the morning before you get ready, after you do your me time. Like, think about the things that you're doing. Are they inspirational, or are they dragging you down? Yoga or walk. I absolutely love getting in touch with nature. Healthy lifestyle. I like the 80-20 rule myself. I try to be healthy 80% of the time, but I also like a glass of wine. I also like a piece of cheesecake. But I don't do it every single day, so I'm able to stay healthy. So what are you doing in all of this? All right. Okay. Any questions about mindset or comments? Like, let's just kind of take a quick break and open this up to you guys. Like, do you have any thoughts on any of that? Nope.
I think it's good, Dawn. Because a lot of times I find myself, kind of getting in my own way,
Yeah.
overthinking things, and of course the example that you talked about, looking on Facebook, finding somebody who's successful, who we deem to be successful, right?
Yeah.
And then, then getting kind of stuck in that loop of, why am I not there, or what do I need to do? And then a lot of times it's real easy to say, well, if I do what they do, successful. But I like what you said, just kind of get out of that space, go back, focus on what you have to focus on and make it better.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to do what they're doing, but try to figure out, maybe send them a message and say, hey, I love your videos. Like, what program did you use to learn how to do that? And then that's where you focus, because everybody learned how to do all the stuff they're doing on social media from someone. And we're doing we're going to start doing classes on using CapCut, on using YouTube, on doing all of that stuff on our Friday performance group calls. And so, we're trying to give you so much value for free, but it's up to you to use it. So if you like somebody, just don't let your mind go into that loop of the comparisonitis. Instead, go into information, like message them and say, hey, I love your YouTube videos. Who did you train with to do that? And that's it. And then if that's going to be one of your funnels, we're going to talk about this, funnels. Like, I'm getting to funnels, and we're going to go a lot deeper into figuring out what your personality is like and what will be one of your lead generation funnels to get those leads into your CRM. So thanks for the feedback, Leslie. Anyone else want to talk about mindset?
Well, I just have a couple of quick comments on that. I'm a very organized. I am like one half a step away from being OCD, and I feel very incompetent because I am starting to now implement the things that I know need to be implemented and that I am going to do. And why I never did them before is because I didn't want to, and I thought I could just wing it manually. I'm not winging it manually, but I'm feeling a little bit of a loop here. I don't have everything done. I'm not competent. I'm not worthy, type of thing. And I'm trying to lose that and just keep pressing forward by attending the meetings and just gathering more information. Your help yesterday was so valuable. And
Awesome.
I did sign up for the program that we talked about. Then what I need to do is implement more videos. So my question is, does CapCut do the same thing as what BombBomb does? Because BombBomb, you can attach it to your
No.
email.
CapCut is an app
Okay.
that you put on your phone. It's used to make videos. Then
Okay.
you would use something. BombBomb is just like, it's also an app. It can be an app, but it's for a message video. Whereas CapCut is used more to create a TikTok or a reel, more
Right.
of a piecing it all together, adding the music and all of that. So,
Right.
all
Well,
right,
I like that idea. So yes. Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome. And we'll at the end, we'll open it up to more questions about all of this stuff.
Okay.
But Jennifer, I saw that you had your hand raised too. I wanted to see if you had a question about mindset.
Just a comment. I like what you said about just start implementing and perfect it later. As I was having a conversation, I said, you just got to get started when you're getting started, and then perfect it, work on perfecting or building it. But you have to have something to build on. If you try to do everything all at once, it's overwhelming, because I've tried that before. Just implementing, and I like your approach to this, because I think it gives you a chance to take your time and really work through everything and not feel so rushed and hurried, so that we can build the foundation and then perfect it later. So thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yes, Jennifer. And you've been with me for a long time, and you're the perfect example. Don't you guys, my headphones just stopped working. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, there's no end in this business. And that I feel like so many agents just try to rush and be done with everything. Like, oh my gosh. And then we have the bright, shiny object syndrome. Stop that. Get through this stuff. Let's figure out where you're at, what you want your lead generation funnels to be, and let's work on one at a time. Finish that process so you can follow through with it. You're going to feel so accomplished, and then you'll be able to pick up on the next one. It may take you a month. So what? Guess what? There's another month waiting for you. And this is one of the things I love about the 12-week year is that, instead of thinking I have to do everything now, and you're going to love my brain dump, all this stuff I'm going to share with you is like, I've had to find a way to make this work because I kept living in this scarcity mindset, and I couldn't move over to abundance until I figured out all of this stuff. And I still sometimes go to scarcity, but you guys, because of my childhood and the lack and the no money and the poverty and the ratty old clothes and all the stuff that I went through, like I just woke up in this space every day where I was like, oh my God, how am I going to rob from Peter to pay Paul? There's never going to be enough. What have I got to do? Like it's really a place in your brain, in your prefrontal cortex, that it sends you into this loop where what's going on in your brain is like a loop of the same thing happening over and over. And you've got to get out of it and over to the other place in your brain where you're able to work on creating your business and doing this work that you're not doing, because the business is waiting for you. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit less about, well, we'll see about that. Foundations. Foundations are so important. And I just had to reset all my foundations because we just moved from KV Core to Lofty. So now I just learned that whole system. So I had to take the time and stop and think about that. Like, that's something in my business. But you've got to be the one to sit down, take the time to sit and really think about what you want your business to look like in a year from now. What are your This is the beauty of this business, you guys. You didn't just get your real estate license. You started a small business, and it's your business. You and how you act and what you do and what you put out there is what makes you unique from any other real estate agent out there. And you're an entrepreneur. You have to come to the table now with an entrepreneur mindset. No more employee. You're not an employee. You have to write your own business plan. You have to write your own daily schedule, weekly schedule, monthly schedule. I use my planner. I love it. It is literally my favorite tool. But you get to figure out what your tools are going to be and what are your foundations. These are, in my opinion, the most important foundations that real estate agents need. Your CRM, your contact relationship manager system. At Epic, I keep wanting to say Chime, but it's Lofty now. And so Lofty, it could be KV Core, there's several out there. Some people pay for them and don't even use what their broker does not matter. It could be a damn Excel spreadsheet if you want it to be, but use something. Get those people into some kind of contact relationship manager, your VIP database, your very important people. These are the people that know you, love you, trust you, and will refer business to you. You want to have an extra special plan for them. I have a whole plan for my VIP database, and I take care of them. So my number one source of business is repeat business and referrals. So I also think it's really important, the logos and colors. Like, it's in the world of social media, we need to stay consistent. I want to show you guys what I mean a little bit later. I'll pull up social media. But if you go to my Instagram, I have two Instagrams. I have one for my real estate business and one for my recruiting business, because I mean, I'm trying to show the world Epic because I love it. And that's what I do. I build others up. And I think this is such a great place for us as real estate agents. But I'm not going to judge those who don't come. I want to help everybody. So I think that the logos and colors are very important. Offers. These are super important. I'm going to talk about offers, like what are your offers when we get into the lead generation funnels. Canva. Everybody should know how to use Canva because that's how you create your social media posts. Canva, and if you're doing reels, whatever you're going to be doing, you got to organize all of that content into something. And so Canva is what we use. What social media sites are going to be your main social media sites? For me, it's just Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and TikTok. I use TikTok not for my real estate business, but for my agent attraction stuff. These last two are so important for real estate agents, you guys. One of the biggest things that I see newer agents, hold on. One of the things I see newer agents, especially, lack, and maybe even agents that are 3 to 5 years in the business, is confidence. Like, the lack of confidence in our business is so high because we have so much self-doubt, and we don't do what we need to be doing to build that confidence. I'm telling you, these two things right here are the biggest things that will build your confidence. If you Realtor basics, when I say that, I mean, go study, go learn from NAR. They have a buyer and a seller report that they put out yearly. I think it might be even bi-yearly now, but Realtor basics, or things that buyers and sellers need. MLS, your board of realtors. Have you taken all the classes? Do you know how to use your MLS at a high level? Do you know how to do a CMA? These are things that while you're not busy, you could be doing every single day. A CMA on a different property, you could just pull one out of thin air and do it on that, and it will build your confidence. But we don't do it. know how to use your MLS, know what realtor.com, or not realtor.com, National Association of Realtors website has to offer. There's blogs, there's all kinds of benefits in there for you guys. And half the time we don't even go to the site ever. Like, create a list for yourself and set aside 30 minutes a day to go in and research these different sites and learn what they have to offer, because it will educate you. Education, learn what's going on in our market, learn from a lender, get a report monthly, weekly, daily, know how to communicate all of this data to your clients. You don't have confidence because you don't know, but what you don't remember or think about is that all of this stuff is literally right there at your fingertips. You're just not doing it and you're not using it. And I know this because I'm guilty of it too. I use the notes app in my phone constantly, and I have a note that says content, and on it I wrote the different places or people I want to go follow, so that when I have an extra 30 minutes, I know what to go look at. Zonda, these are some that I'm following. Zonda, Keeping Current Matters, Ali Wolf, David Childress, and Ryan Serhant, which, by the way, Ryan Serhant is a realtor in New York. I never followed this guy until I moved to Epic, because Epic offers his course, Sell It Like Serhant, in Epic in our education. So I wanted to know what that was about. So I went and I bought his book. You guys, this is such a good book. It's called Big Money Energy. I love it. I'm almost done with it right now, but it's Ryan Serhant. And then we have the course at Epic in our cloud. So that's the next thing I'm going to do for like maybe 30 minutes a day. I listen to it. I don't listen to it all day. I don't stop everything else I'm doing, but it's one of the things that's on my daily to-do list. And so get yourself educated, know your realtor basics and those sites. I also have NAR on another list, and I like to go to the NAR site also. And then also one more thing is the lender that I use is, her name is Amy. She's out of Austin, and she's been doing it for like 30 years, and she's an investor. She puts out an amazing email every week, and I use that to get to know what's going on with the interest rate. So follow your lender. If you don't have one, call me. I'll share Amy with you and forward you that email from her so that you can read that. That's just going to give you content right there to share with your people. All right, so those are some of the foundations that I'm suggesting you make sure that you have implemented and that you're doing on a regular basis, and that you know how to use them. Your CRM, VIP database, I actually share that with you inside of the abundance plan. Ooh, I gotta hurry. I must be talking. See, this is why I talk fast. I gotta fit a lot into an hour. All right, any questions about the foundations? And do you know, one more stat for you is that 70% of real estate agents don't even use a CRM. 80% of real estate agents don't make it through their second year of being a realtor. Or, no, wait, sorry. I think it's 5 years. I don't remember. I'm horrible with numbers, but it was some outrageous number. And then 20% of the agents do 80% of the business. And if you ask that 20% what they do, I guarantee you they use their CRM at a high level. So what does that tell you? That tells you I want to help some of the agents on the 80% side make it over to the 20% side. And your CRM is one of the very valuable pieces in that. Okay, let's see. Before I start the next one, let me answer any questions. Tamara says, I'm old school. I like to write my daily schedule. Anyone have any recommendations? I have on my link tree, I have a planner that I absolutely love, and it is, I use it, it's right here. I use Google, my Google thing as well, but I use the planner for planning out my month and doing all of the things. Any kind of those written planners are good. The title companies give them away for free still. So any of those, Pamelita, who, Amy info. Okay, Pamelita, I will give you Amy's info at a later time. All right. And Tamara, if you want, I'll show you where the link is to my favorite planner. I just got my new one and I love it. All right. So let me get out of that. Automations, I'm going to keep really short because I really don't want to run out of time and I want to respect your time. So some of the automations that are so important for your real estate business, and Pamelita learned this one yesterday, and Google Chrome, Google Drive, just Google everything. I helped her get her Google Chrome folders and everything set up. She's going to save so much time now by just knowing where all of her stuff is. And that was game changer for me. The same thing with Google Drive. If you're not using these programs regularly, you should learn how. And I'm going to do a class on Google and Google Drive and put it in my YouTube so that anybody could go do it. Another thing are your buyer and seller presentations. Do you even have one? Do you have something wrote down or print something like a process? So for me, I have my seller presentation and my buyer presentation all created, all in a Google Drive. So when I go on a listing appointment or a buyer appointment, I just print it out, throw it into a folder, and I show up looking like the agent who knows what she's doing. How many of you, and if you're on this call, I never want to see you do it again. Show up to meet a buyer or a seller without a folder, without any information. Do not ever do that. You show up with your folder, with your information, with just a few documents to help educate them in any way that you can. And not empty-handed. You want to send them home with something. So work on that buyer and seller presentation. You could get them anywhere. Etsy can get you one, but just have something. Figure out what you're going to offer. More about that later. Closing spreadsheet, budget spreadsheet. I keep the board spreadsheet, my current year details. Every time we have a closing, my VA goes through and she enters all of this stuff. So I always know at all times what I've got going on. So these are just some of the automations. Really, if you're going to do it more than once or twice, make it an automation. And you know why? Because then you can automate it and then you could delegate it. This is what the VAs are doing and helping us in our business. If it's a $10 an hour job or $15 an hour job, you should not be doing it. You should be passing that on to somebody else so you could be working on creative stuff because you're a creator. All right. That's automations. I'm going to go through that one pretty quick. Now I want to talk about lead generation funnels. So you have your CRM all set up. You have your VIP database all set up. You know what you're doing. You have content planned to send out. You have all this stuff. So now what are your funnels going to be? And your funnel, I want you to think of a regular funnel, like a kitchen funnel. Top of funnel, the very top of it is where people that you don't know are going to enter into your world. Then they're going to go through the whole funnel process step by step, make their way down. I really need to put a slide in here with the funnel on it so I can show you what I mean by that, but I keep forgetting. So what that means is your offer is what goes out into the world. The offer is what you're going to put together that is like, for instance, I'm going to show you guys an offer here in a little bit, okay? But you need an offer for every single funnel that you're doing. So my VIP database, my offer for them, my main offer is HomeBot. I use HomeBot with Amy, and she is a sponsor. So she pays for like half of it and I pay for half of it. And I was able to send that out to my entire VIP database, and they all get an email from me every month with all of this information about their home. It is the number one opened piece of data that I send out, and I love it. So that's my offer for my VIP database. But I also send that out every once in a while just to people that are not in my VIP database. I need to do an email and send it out into in a newsletter. I used to send it in my newsletter, but I haven't got my new newsletter set up with my new broker yet. So working on that. Listings to leads marketing. That is one of my funnels. That's a great funnel. And I have a 21-day free trial for you guys if you want to try that out. They have so much, I can't even go into it. There's a whole hour-long class from that. And then if you do the 21 days, they will have workshops for like 7 of those days showing you how to do lead generation, even if you don't have any listings. It's a great, phenomenal marketing content creator. And I believe I pay $60 a month for it. I will tell you, it's the one thing I've kept for ever since I joined KW in 2012. Social media. A lot of people get social media leads, paid leads. If you're a brand new real estate agent, so let's go back to social media. Your offer for social media is going to be a lot of the things that listings to leads offers. It's called lead capture. And it's so important that if you're going to be putting out social media pieces, that in the details of that piece, you put an offer for those clients to click and get their information. Agents just so often give away all the free stuff, and then they don't ever bother to get the leads information. Don't do marketing if you're not going to have some kind of lead capture that gives them the opportunity to say, I want your relocation guide. Here's my information. Get them into your CRM so then they get your weekly or monthly newsletter or your HomeBot newsletter. This stuff all works together. It's like this big old circle of life that you've got to be the creator, though. Nobody's going to create this stuff for you. So this is why I'm saying, if any of this sounds like something you want to do, write it down, because that's going to come next. I'm going to help you do this over the next 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, however long you need to stay in my weekly free coaching call. Keep coming back. We'll get it all figured out. Paid leads. Okay. So if you're not doing any of this other stuff and you're a brand new agent, you might look into some paid leads with Realtor.com or with Zillow or something like that. I built a lot of my database several years ago with Zillow, but that was a really good market. I wouldn't do it today because people right now, it's time to build your real estate business. We're all suffering. It's not the kind of business it was because the interest rate is high. It's the perfect time for you to know that God's going to take care of you, and you do what you're supposed to do in working on these systems, and you'll get your deals to come in. But you have to do the work. And if you're not trusting in God, or whatever you believe in, I believe in God. So if you have to trust first, and then it'll all happen. But back to the mindset, we so often get stuck in that loop of, I don't have any money. I don't have. Instead, move over to, I'm so grateful for the roof over my head. I'm so grateful that I just joined this company that's going to save me thousands of dollars. I'm so grateful that I get to go to this free coaching every week and help me get these things set up. Move into gratefulness instead of lack. But paid leads, personally, I wouldn't suggest that right now. I would be getting signed up with any kind of lead source that's not going to require any upfront fees. I would be working on my referral-based business, speaking with other agents. But if you've got the money, I know several agents who are Zillow agents still making it. But you have to spend $2 or $3 grand a month to make it work. And then you have a closing, you get paid $6,000, it pays for itself. It's a great deal. But there's sometimes where you have a month or two that you don't get any any deals. And so often agents do Zillow and they don't have their system set up, so they don't do the follow-up. And the deals are made in the follow-up. And so you got to make sure you do it right. So don't leave this call and go pay for some leads. Come, let's get all this other stuff set up first. Referrals from realtors. That's like my second, third source of business. And I don't do either one of these, but FSBOs, farming, expires right now. Whatever you're going to do, you need to have that offer, that document, something that client's going to want in return for their information. Are they going to give you the wrong information? Sometimes. And if they do, they're not serious and don't even care about it. Sometimes they'll sign up, they'll give you the right email, but not the right phone number. You know what? It's a numbers game. They say you need 100 leads before you get one deal. I don't believe that's true, but still, your number one job is to fill your pipeline, create relationships, and fill your pipeline, your CRM. So any questions about funnels? Okay, let me look at the chat. I will give Amy's info. Automation and funnels are my biggest weaknesses because I can't sit still long enough to do it. That is my goal moving forward. Yeah, Allison, I hear you. Absolutely. The automations, I didn't get this all down until I hired my VAs. I delegate just about everything. You know, I know that we have some VA options in our group. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me, because some of us that have VAs are sharing them with other agents. So you're not having to go pay the $12,000 we did at Sphere Rocket. So, but automations are something that you can work out and have your VA do. And same thing with funnels. You create it the first time, they can do a lot of it for you. You can't do this by yourself. You guys, this business is not meant to do by yourself. It's meant to do with a team, whether that team is, you know, you building a team, which I don't want to, I did that and I hated it. I had a buyer agent, did the 50-50 for all of his deals too. I love the model that I do now, which is called a partner agent program. And, you know, we just can't do it alone. And so that's one of the main reasons I love all what I do with all of this stuff, is really just helping and creating this community. All right. Any other questions about funnels? Does everyone understand what a funnel is and what it takes to build it? And if not, I'll see you on week 4 in December, sometime, maybe January. I'm still going to do these calls. If it's Christmas Day, I'll do it on a Wednesday. But if you're signed up for this, I'll be sending you a reminder inside of my platform. So you'll get an email. So make sure that we're friends. All right. So once again, mindset, foundations, automations, and funnels. So now when you think of something and you're overwhelmed, you're going to categorize it into one of these areas. And then you're going to know, oh, I can work on that. Pamelita, thank you. I could work on that later. And so you're going to get it out of your brain. Here's the thing. Our brain is already working on something like 50,000 thoughts per day. It's just some ridiculous amount. And, you know, we have like 1,000 minutes in a day to do so much work. And when we get into that confusion and overwhelm, we don't do anything and we waste all of this time. And so it's so important to do this next step. I wrote it in, I put it, it's so important that you read this book. I have it in here twice, this slide. I 100% love this book and I highly, highly recommend it. But here's what I want you guys to do. Before our next call on Tuesday of next week, I want you to brain dump. I want you to take 30 minutes, set a timer, sit down, and I want you to just think about everything I just said. And I want you to just brain dump everything onto a piece of paper. In your computer, whatever, use whatever, but just sit there and think and get it all out of your head. Watch this again, take notes, get everything you need to do and implement into your business down on a piece of paper. And then I want you to break that down into the 4 different areas, into mindset, foundations, automations, funnels. And remember that your business plan, the planning part goes in the mindset part. So if it has to do with creating a schedule, it goes there, because the daily plan works with the mindset. Also, it's an automation, so you could put it there too, because we got to automate our time blocking. And then what I want you to do is I want you to go through each one of those items, and I want you to prioritize it. And what that's going to look like is I want you to prioritize with the numbers 1 through 5. And then we're going to map that out into our next 12 weeks. So you're going to have your first 12 weeks, which is going to start on Friday, the 1st. So it's going to be, you're going to get 12 weeks in December, which really there's 5 weeks. So 4 of those, you're going to get a week off already in December. Well, really there's only 4, because the 1st is on a Friday. So if you start on Monday, the 4th, you're going to have 4 real weeks. So you're going to prioritize where you think that priority is on your list, keeping in mind that your foundations need to come before your funnels. Your funnels, you may want to work on one funnel. The first funnel that I think all of you should do is your VIP database, and start collecting people's information. If you're sending out cards right now, boom, you've got it. You're halfway there if you have a list, but start just getting those things numbered. So after you do that, then you're going to get those items into whichever 12-week chunk you're going to work in. So let's just say, for instance, you need to work on your CRM, and you think that's going to take you probably, like, it should have taken you more than a week. If you just time block every day to go do the lofty webinars, you'll have that done in no time at all. But then you might need to work on your automations, which are your campaigns in there. So that might take another week. Those are both should be number 1s, right? An automation for or a funnel, a 3rd funnel, like you have 3 funnels you want to implement. You can only do 1 at a time. So you're going to have to number that 3rd one like number 3. And you may only want to do 3 numbers. I don't know. You figure out how you want to organize your brain dump, but you want to get it into these 12 weeks. So, or the first 12 weeks in December, the 2nd and the 3rd. Every year I do 3. So my first one is sometime in like February, Marchish. My second one is over the summer, and my 3rd one is what I'm working on right now. I'm actually done with it in December. So I'm going to skip January for my next one, and I'm going to start in February for my first one. But for you guys, this is not something we all need to do together. This is, you need to pick out when your first 12 weeks is going to be. So I have these 3 on here because in every year, you should have 12 weeks. So if you do the work that you need to do in the first 12 weeks, you're only going to be working on production in your second and your third 12 weeks next year. I promise you, because you're going to be working on your funnels. You're going to knock out all the stuff that's in your foundations and in your automations in that first 12 weeks. And then you use the next 12 weeks to set up another funnel and another funnel and another funnel until you are just working on those funnels. You should be creating content and working on your funnels and talking to people, building relationships. That's what those funnels are for. All that other stuff is where the busy work, where we get stuck. So let's just stop, number those 1, and get them done in the next week or 2. So does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions about this? About the brain dump and the prioritizing and then mapping it out into your 12 weeks? You guys thought you were coming for a 2024 plan. You didn't think I was going to put you to work on Friday. Angela's class on Friday, Pamelita, is at 11. Okay, so, okay, if no questions there, then awesome. We're going to move on. Join me on Tuesdays at downloading.live at 1 o'clock Central. Week 1, we're going to cover mindset and your plan. So that's going to be next Tuesday. Week 2, we're going to cover foundations. Week 3, automations. Week 4, funnels. Now, the first like 15 minutes of each call is me really kind of doing a review of whatever that week's pillar is, and then I open it up to Q&A. Sometimes we spend 10 minutes on the call, and sometimes we spend 45 minutes on the call. Angela's on every call with me, and her program is really a funnel. Angela Kristen Taylor does a program called How to Be Your Local Legend. And that is really a funnel for getting yourself out into your community, building relationships, and becoming the local legend. Like, what does that look like? And so you don't want to miss her call on Friday. I will actually put the link in the chat here in a minute so that you guys could get that. So I'll do that. And then I pretty much already told you my story. If you ever want to schedule a call one-on-one with me, my calendar is talk2dawn.com, and you can schedule a call with me. You guys, if you can dream it, have the courage to take action, and have discipline to stay on the right path, you will make it. And you might already be there and just not even know it. So free tools for your success are in my featured tab in the Facebook group. I'm going to go show you that here in a second. The real estate abundance plan, I'm going to go over that also. 2:05. I am so late, you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's get out of here. Escape. I want to just show you guys a couple of things really quick. Here is my group is called Real Estate Untangled. If you're not in it, this is where I just post everything. My mission to provide a pathway for real estate agents to find their passion, follow their dreams, and create a business that supports their best life. My website, the 4 pillars, every event I do, everything is in here. And if you go to this page, which I'll share this page really quick, if you're probably all already on it, but in here is my link tree. And this link tree is where I put the links to all of the stuff that I use. If I don't use it myself, it does not go on my link tree. So this link tree, I'm going to actually just share this group with you, not the link tree, so that you guys can get into the group. Come on. And if you get into it, I highly suggest that you pin it to one of your favorites. Like I was able to just go get to it. So I copied that. Let me go to the chat really quick. Here we go. Paste. I'll also put the invite to Angela's thing. Actually, I'll do the invite to Angela's thing on my Facebook group because I don't have it quite yet. I don't know why they don't have it. I'll look and see. I'll go look. But when you get to the link tree, here's the abundance plan challenge. So whatever I do for next month, it'll be right here if you want to sign up for it again. I usually send a reminder to anybody who's taken it before. If you liked it, you could do it again next month. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it evergreen or if I'm going to continue to do it. I like doing it live and it's once a month, so I'll probably do both. The download to the actual plan. This is the link to your VIP database. The one thing that I think all of y'all should be doing every single day is adding like 2 or 3 people onto this. Mine is amazing. I love it. I have 2 pages of it. And all you got to do is open this up, click file, make a copy, and then you'll be able to make it your own. If anybody has to go, you could go. I did recording this and I'll send the recording out. So sorry that I'm running over an hour. Actually, I never said it was an hour. It's 5 hours, y'all. Here's the link to my send out cards. That's how I communicate with my VIP database. You could go into here and send yourself a card. I use that regularly. Listings to leads. I'm hoping to replace listings to leads with Social Bay once we get that at Epic, but for the most part, if it doesn't do everything Listings to Leads does, it's the most valuable tool that I have, worth every bit of $60. But what you could do is go in, take advantage of the free 21-day trial that you get with this link and learn how to do all this stuff, and then just find alternate if you can't afford the $60. But I pay it every month. My favorite planner, that's the link to my planner. My YouTube channel, where I am working on that right now and making different training channels. So every time somebody says, teach me this, I'm going to record it and put it in there. This is the link to the Real Estate Untangled Facebook group and my Instagram. Let's just look at that really quick. This is why I think it's so important that you have your colors and your branding and everything all done. We're in the process of redoing mine right now, and we just redid these because I don't like how you can see those. So we're going to be getting rid of those. But we just implemented black. These are my colors this is for my coaching site. Coaching, I don't really coach. I'm more of a guide, but I do recruit and then coach. So I just see how it all blends together and looks good. Oh, Matthew Perry, such a sad thing. So you can see it's getting a lot better, but I also put a lot of my personal stuff on here. So it just looks good when the colors all blend, and it's starting to get even better and better. I had a talk with my VAs and I'm like, these colors need to be in every single post. So anyway, you could kind of see how that is. So there's that. I think that's it. I wanted to show you. Was there anything I missed that I wanted to share with you guys? I don't think so. One question here. Love you. Oh, Jamie, I love you too, girl. I love all of you. If we could just do this for the rest of our lives, I'm happy. All right, I'm going to stop recording right now.